Well, what's the crack? Blu Hydrangea here, queen of the mother tucking world. This is the series where we see who the next queen of the mother tucking world is, as we review UK vs. the World Season 3.
BLU, baby join the queue, we got room for you.
Guys, I'm sick. So please forgive me for my voice. I didn't quite sound like a man.
I didn't quite cough like a man.
Or if I cough, or if I sniffle, just pity me. Shower me with love in the comments and hope that I regain strength. This is because a new Supreme is rising.
They say when a new Supreme starts to flower, the old Supreme begins to fade.
And therefore, my powers are waning. Last week we saw Zahira go home. Kate was the winner, wasn't she?
Have you ever watched the show?
There was no Chippy Tea. Ooh. And Mariah has just come off a lip sync. So we're entering the workroom. Zahira has just left. Mariah is a good sister because she is saying, I feel a void in the workroom. And that, if I'm not mistaken, is Zahira's song.
Enter the void with me.
Mariah is plugging Zahira's song after she's left. That's a good sister. Zahira is a good time kind of gal, so everyone is feeling the emotions of her leaving and feeling that void in the workroom. For both of Kate's wins, when she's entered the workroom at the start of the episode the next week, it's like a jump scare. First of all, it was the naked mole rat, like space galaxy moment. And then this was the weird crochet like outfit. I mean, it's just crazy to think of someone winning the challenge and then looking like that. I don't know. Is that harsh? Godlin starts crying over Mariah being in the bottom and her not being much of a help during the challenge. She clearly went to the Pangina Heels School of Acting. I just don't really buy it. She didn't seem upset earlier. She didn't seem upset when she was killing the challenge and wasn't in the bottom. I mean, it was nice of her to acknowledge that she took a back seat, but I tell you what, at that point of the competition, girl, you're teetering on the edge of tears at every given second, so maybe it was legit. If I had to guess, seeing all these queens sitting here discussing who's going to be in the final, if I had to guess, Naomi probably is the person that I would say is due to go home. And that's no shade, she has been great throughout this competition, but the other queens just have a bit of an edge and a badge. When they were like doing this workroom moment before the opening credits rolled, the sound designers were having an absolute field day. They were putting sound effects over every given thing that the queens were doing.
Not out of fight, there's one.
I kind of live for it. It felt like a cartoon, which Drag Race and cartoons are just a millimeter off being the exact same thing. At this point, Drag Race is my Saturday morning cartoons. It's a new day in the workroom. The queens are discussing, the finale, yada, yada, yada. It is lovely to see Kate make it this far. I feel like on her season, she had all the talent, but just not the finesse of her drag. And I feel like she's really shown a lot of growth. And it's gorgeous to see her in the final. She definitely deserves it. So Rue enters the workroom and there's a mini challenge. I love a mini challenge, to be honest. The Brit crew trolleys in some medals, but I love production forcing Kate to be a bitch because she has tried to stay on the right side of history this whole competition. If I was given this task, I would have given myself the front runner. At this point, no one else is going to eliminate you. You don't need to suck up to these queens. Let Rue know that you think you are the Okay, so we find out it's a makeover challenge. This is a challenge that I wish I could have done in season 1, especially because if I made it to the makeover challenge, I definitely would have won and then I would have made it to the final. And that's why production eliminated me. Rue girls just make up their own conspiracy theories, so that's my conspiracy theory for season 1. Naomi is a pretty girl. I feel like she could win this. Godlin and Fontana have both won makeover challenges in the past. Who do I think is going to flop at this? Kate. Okay, so we find out that they're going to be making over Olympians, which is super fab. I mean, the Olympians come in, they are all gorgeous. I've written, Mariah got the hottie. Need to find out if he's a fruit.
Oh, what you said? Queen.
I flirted with Daniel online. I said hi Daniel under the post of this, and he liked a few of my photos. What can I say? This is the new age of flirting. So hi Daniel if you're watching this. One thing I will say about Olympians is they're not particularly known for their personalities, so this is going to be a big challenge. Like, you could get them to look right, but are you going to get them to like exude the dragness of it all. And Godland has the biggest challenge, I think, once everything's divvied out. Fontana looks literally like the twin of her partner. I feel bad for Kate's partner. She wanted to look glam and fierce and like a glamazon queen. After talking to Kate for like 2 seconds, you would know that she's a goofy kind of gal, not the fierce glamazon that she had hoped for. Love Naomi's partner. She's a BMX lesbian. She's kind of fierce. I love all her tattoos. She's got a storyline. She tells us that she used to be an alcoholic. The thing about a makeover challenge that kind of bores the tits off me is it's like 6 people that you've never met before that you're just immediately having to like warm to. Sinead has been great because you immediately warmed to her. She's the perfect candidate for this kind of TV show. Mariah is having a bit of a giggle with Kate. She's like, you've left all this nice jewelry to this point. And I love Kate's laugh. I love Kate's laugh. Can I tell you, the whole way through the season, Kate has been giggling away. And for some reason, the sound production or something, they like lower it so it's almost like a wee silent laugh, like in the background. But I always clock onto it and I love it. It's such a nerdy little laugh. It's so cute. Didn't like the idea of Godland turning this big man into her mother. I did really giggle at Godland saying, personally, I don't like being around straight men.
Personally, I don't like to be around straight men.
Put that on my gravestone. Although he's a big gentle giant and he's like, I'm so sorry for my people. Okay, we're back with Daniel. Whenever he was talking about religion, it was like, blah, 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 beautiful eyes, blah, blah, blah. There's part of religion that makes me uncomfortable because of that whole, like, you know, love thy neighbor, but do they really? If you're different, they don't always accept you. But I'm super glad for him that he got to keep everything he loved. And it's great that he's being a representative for the queer community in sports. We've had heated rivalry and now we've had Daniel on Drag Race. Good to see. And then Rue walks into the workroom. At this point, I'm like, is this episode not nearly over? Why is Rue finally coming into the workroom? There's just a lot of filler to these kind of episodes and it kind of bores me. Snaps from Mariah making pads in the UK workroom because I feel like some of these UK girls don't wear pads and it's gorgeous to see some good old-fashioned drag paddage happening in the workroom. To make pads, it takes a lot of time, so she's just snipping away. She already has a pad done. Okay, it's a new day in the workroom. They're getting ready. There's not much to say, really. I did like when Mariah said, teamwork makes my butt squirt. Godland's makeover, I don't have great hope for. When she was applying the makeup, it looked so cakey, it looked so pale. It's not a great base to work on, but I feel like the colours and stuff she chose didn't work either. I really did love the little mirror moment with Naomi and Sinead though. It takes a warm person for you to like truly spill your heart out like that to them in such a short period of time. So clearly Naomi and her partner have really connected. And yeah, I've never done a makeover challenge, so I don't know how long they have to get ready, but to do 2 people's makeups in that period of time, I hope they're given at least like 4 hours. At least. Okay, it's time for the runway. RuPaul is looking gorgeous. I love this fabric. Can someone explain to me why she only is wearing short dresses in the UK? Like, it's colder here, surely you would want to cover up. But she's walking with a skip in her step. You see her bouncing down that runway, she was feeling herself. I loved Michelle's fully silver hair moment. Did anyone notice that she was framed like really differently this episode? Like, it's almost like someone tripped over her camera and then they tried to put it back in the same place, but it didn't really work. And then Anastasia, and I wonder if you know how it really feels. I love Anastasia. Does she ever take glasses off? Like, is that just her vibe? Okay, so Fontana and Montana. I think they look cute. I think the costumes were very professional and polished, and they had a lot of impact on the stage. I actually love that they weren't like feathers. It was like crepe paper on wire or something like that. Okay, I will say that I didn't love that Fontana's makeover Olympian, her headpiece was lopsided, and I was like, that is something that you would really want to sort out before they got on the stage, because like if it falls off they'll feel so crap and they wouldn't know how to balance it on or anything, or like to keep it up with a hand, you know, like make sure that they're as comfortable as possible. And honestly, I thought that Montana just looked like a beautiful girl in some makeup. Like there wasn't much contouring, the lips weren't overlined, there was no nose contouring, it was just a lot of blue eyeshadow and a gorgeous like natural, I went to makeup counter kind of base. However, The costumes really stood out, and I loved the color story and the impact and their little dancing and stuff. So it was very cute. I think Fontana might have won this challenge if her Olympian and her had a better story together. Okay, next up is Naomi and Claudia. Ugh. I do think Naomi painted her just slightly too pale. Naomi loves that like white hair and then, you know, her flesh tone here. Whereas I feel like it could have been like a more creamy kind of color here. I also really didn't enjoy Naomi's suit. When she took it off, the boiler suit underneath was kind of more fierce. And I just realized during this runway that Donatella Versace and Gianni Versace were related. Did you know that? Next up is Guadland and her partner, Sandy Godes. I hated this bit they were doing with the crying. It reminded me, I went to see My Neighbor Totoro on stage, and it was like adult people pretending to be kids, and they just screamed and cried for like 2 hours, and I was like, no. It's so irritating. An adult acting like a child, it grinds my gears. And Greg looked super rough. Someone actually mentioned the makeup as if it was good. I think it was RuPaul. Ru said the makeup was great in judging, and I said, they're really saying whatever they want. You know what the makeup reminded me of? Do you remember when Matt Monet made over her assistant Paddy and he looked like Michael Jackson? It was very that. Honestly, Godland should have been in the bottom this week. It really annoys me that the reputation of UK versus the world is like already smeared enough. Like, why are you trying to smear it more by making the judging so lopsided? Just let her be in the bottom. She can lip sync. She would have saved herself. Especially against Naomi. Like, there's no way they would have sent home Godland over Naomi. Maybe Godland was like in her microphone going, I actually don't know the words to this song. And the producers went, no, we have to save her. That's the only way I can see it working. Mariah and Amira. This guy looked like a drag queen. It was just 2 different orange costumes that Mariah probably already had. They both had capes and they both had some bling. Whatever, it worked for me. Especially when, I don't know, I feel like no one else really turned out for me. Godland, Naomi, and Kate didn't really do such a good job. So that only left really Mariah and Fontana in the top. I truly do think that the conversations in the workroom, his personality on the runway, and then Mariah just doing like 8 out of 10 job on the makeover, really, like, it clenched the win for her. The whole storyline, through line of it all, just, I think, is the reason why she won. Okay, Kate. Oh no. I didn't love it. I really did think that actually the makeup on the Olympian looked better than it did on Kate. The eyebrows didn't bother me as much, but yeah, they were kind of floating. It's actually funny because Fontana won her makeover challenge in a very similar costume, but she was being the twins from The Shining. This was basically the twins from The Shining, but like if they burnt in the house or burnt in the hotel. The wigs are just too small for me. It was like one of those like tiny wee wigs that there's no height either, so it's all just back here, and it really didn't fit her well. Looked almost like a croissant. I thought the dresses were cute. Kate makes duvets, so she clearly made this herself. I think that it was better on the Olympian because she tailored it, and the Olympian's was a bit higher and she showed that leg. Honestly, that was the most flattering part of the costume, and I feel like Kate should have taken hers up to do the exact same. I did really like this story of it though. One thing I will say about Kate's makeup is when Kate is in drag for a period of time, her eyelids become really greasy and her black eyeliner rubs off. If she just, Kate, if you're watching this, just pat that with a bit of black eyeshadow, and hopefully it shouldn't do that. Sorry for the makeup tips. I really didn't think that the brows were that bad. You know what I mean? Like, Ru could not shut up about them, and I feel like put Kate in the bottom over Godland because of these eyebrows, and I was like, really? At least Kate's makeover challenge looked like a drag queen. I've written here, it's bound to be Naomi and Godland in the bottom. I'm perplexed by the outcome. Love seeing Mariah win the challenge. It gives the finale a very level playing field, so that makes it just a little bit more interesting, doesn't it? I like watching Drag Race when everyone's kind of had a few wins. Like, clearly Jane is a frontrunner in season 18, whereas here we've got a few frontrunners, and I love to see it. Kate looked like a crazy person when she was trying to learn her lines on the sofa. I was pre-warned that I was going to love this lip sync song, so whenever I saw this, I was like, what song could this be? When we find out the bottom 2 is Kate and Naomi, Naomi looks to Kate and she goes, I love you. Kate, I love you. And Kate just stands there awkwardly as if she didn't even hear her. I honestly don't think I've witnessed anything like that before. Kate says she was just getting in the zone, but it was so cringe. Like, you would just go, love you too, babes. Anyway, I actually have to put the full clip in because it was so awkward.
Kate, I love you.
I love this lip sync song. This lip sync song is Cheryl Hole's favourite karaoke song. And for me, this song is the perfect song that you would do if you were cosplaying as Princess Fiona. All my life I've been waiting for you to bring a fairy tale my way. She's been locked in a castle. Kate's lip sync song that she went home to against Delicious. She was dressed as like Danny Zuko. I remember her being a very competent lip syncer, so I really hope that she has stayed the same. In this lip sync, you can really tell that Naomi is not as chaotic as her first lip sync against Melinda. And that just shows you her growth throughout the competition. She's become a lot more confident in what she's capable of doing, and she doesn't need to do all these tricks and whatever. If Naomi's track record had been better, I would have been more worried for Kate. But I just don't think there was any way that Naomi was gonna, stay today, even if she did turn out the lip sync. I can't think of a time when they've sent home a frontrunner the episode before the finale. It's not a thing that happens. So Naomi's sent home. I love that they did like the Manila Luzon cut back to the workroom, and Claudia was like, oh. I think she just made like a small noise, like, huh. It was funny. It was very camp. I really do think Naomi should be so proud of herself, though. She did an incredible job. She became more lovable as the season went on. Is that rude to say? I feel like I just got to know her a bit more. She was trying some things, and then they send Claudia in. She does that whole, I love you, something wrong.
Well done, something wrong.
I really do think Godlin's gonna win, which almost makes me feel like, why should I root for someone else? But I think everyone's really shown a great side of their drag this season. I've really enjoyed everyone. And I wish them all the best. I hope that the finale is everything they want and more. So my original top 4 was Minty, Fresh, Godland, Kate, and Fontana. So Fontana has 1 badge, Godland has 2 badges, Mariah has 2 badges, and Kate has 2 badges. No Chippy T, and Naomi went home. That is the end of the semi-finals of UK vs. the World Season 3. I've had a lovely time reviewing this season. I must admit, it's kind of like trailed off a bit near the end, but I am excited to see who wins. Let me know whose team you're on. Let me know if you've enjoyed this UK vs. the World recap. If you have, I might keep it up for another UK vs. the World, Down Under vs. the World Canada All-Stars. You know what? I'm down to review the lesser watched seasons. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye!
BLU, baby, join the queue. We got room for you.